Welcome to day 21 of Math 111. In this lesson, we will be looking at the tests for divisibility. These tests usually involve mental arithmetic, and they're used to find some of the smaller divisors of a number very quickly. Let's start with divisibility by 2. Do you know when a whole number is divisible by 2? A whole number is divisible by 2 when the units digit is even. So the test is, look at the units digit and determine if the whole number is divisible by 2 or not by determining if that units digit is even. Here's an example for us to look at. 89,754. We need only look at the units digit. That digit is 4. 4 is even, so 89,754 is divisible by 2. You probably already knew that one. You probably know this one as well. For divisibility by 5, when is a whole number divisible by 5? A whole number is divisible by 5 when the units digit is 5 or 0. So for the test, all we do is look at the units digit and determine if the whole number is divisible by 5. We have a couple of examples here. Let's take 89,754 again. The units digit is 4. Because that is not a 5 or 0, we know that 89,754 is not divisible by 5. In the second example, we have 6,385. Because the units digit is 5, we know that this number is divisible by 5. Let's move to divisibility by 10. When is a whole number divisible by 10? You probably know this one as well. A whole number is divisible by 10 when the units digit is 0. Again, we look just at the units digit and determine whether the whole number is divisible by 10. We have a couple of examples here. 623,170. The units digit is 0, so we know that this number is divisible by 10. In the second example, 89,754, the units digit is 4. So we know that this number is not divisible by 10. For divisibility by 2, 5, and 10, all we have to do is look at the units digit. Let's move to divisibility by 3. When is a whole number divisible by 3? The test for this is add the digits of the number. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. This is a very interesting test. Again, you're just adding the digits, and if the sum is divisible by 3, then the whole number itself is divisible by 3. We have a couple of examples to look at. 15,384. We add the digits. The sum of the digits is 21. 21 is divisible by 3, so this whole number is also divisible by 3. If you'd like, grab a calculator and check for yourself. In the second example, we have 535. The sum of the digits, 5, 3, and 5, is 13. 13 is not divisible by 3, so we know that this number is not divisible by 3. Moving on to divisibility by 9. When is a whole number divisible by 9? This test is like the test for divisibility by 3. We add the digits of the number. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 9, then the number is divisible by 9. We have a couple of examples here. 15,384. The sum of the digits is 21. 21 is not divisible by 9, so 15,384 is not divisible by 9. Let's look at 4,635. The sum of the digits is 18. 18 is divisible by 9, so 4,635 is divisible by 9. All right, to summarize, the test for divisibility by 3 and 9 require that we look at the sum of the digits of the number. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. If the sum is divisible by 9, then the number is divisible by 9. Let's think about divisibility by 4. When is a whole number divisible by 4? For this test, we look at the last 2 digits of the number. If the last 2 digits are divisible by 4, then the number itself is divisible by 4. Let's look at an example. 15,384. The last 2 digits are 84. 84 is divisible by 4. So 15,384 is also divisible by 4. In the second example, we have 4,634. The last 2 digits are 34. 34 is not divisible by 4. So 4,634 is not divisible by 4. And divisibility by 8. When is a whole number divisible by 8? We look at the last 3 digits of the number to determine if the number is divisible by 8. Again, let's look at 15,384. The last 3 digits are 384. 384 is divisible by 8. 384 is 8 times 48. So we know that 15,384 is divisible by 8. In the second example, we have 3,550. If you take your calculator and try to divide 550 by 8, you'll see that it does not come out even. So we know that 3,550 is not divisible by 8. The test for divisibility by 4 requires that we look at the last 2 digits. The test for divisibility by 8 requires that we look at the last 3 digits. I have a hint here that may help you remember this. 4 is 2 squared. 8 is 2 cubed. Think about the exponent and also compare it with the number of digits that you have to check. And now for divisibility by 6. When is a whole number divisible by 6? This is the first time we've seen a test like this. A number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. Again, we have a couple of examples. 957. To check for divisibility by 3, we add the digits 9, 5, and 7. The sum of the digits is 21. 21 is divisible by 3, so we know that 957 is divisible by 3. 957 is not even. We know that because the 7 is not even. So because this number is not divisible by both 2 and 3, then 957 is not divisible by 6. Let's look at 2,550. The sum of the digits is 12, and 12 is divisible by 3. So we know that 2,550 is divisible by 3. Also, 2,550 is an even number, so it's divisible by 2. 2,550 is divisible by both 2 and 3, so this number is divisible by 6. We've gone through these tests rather quickly. You may want to go back and review these. You need to learn how to use the tests for divisibility. These tests are very useful when we're looking for divisors, also looking for small prime factors of a number. Make sure you practice these and get comfortable with them.